when we came to this village of Curdi, which literally rises up from under the riverbed, we met Mr. Manoj Pariyekar. In fact, he had been staying in this village. So we hijacked him and we brought him so that he can tell you what this village and what are the locations in this village. Manoj Bab, you were staying here. Where were you staying?
That side.
You are staying on this side. Yeah. Whose house is this one?
Ganesh Varip.
Ganesh Varip. He was, what was he? He was a pujari or?
No, Varip.
He was a Varip, okay. See a nice span shot of the village ending up in the house of the Varip. Very strong house. आता आम्ही जेन्ना पळय ह्या आता सकयल न्हंयकडे वता पयलीं पासून हांगा उदक आसतालें काय
ही जी आता डॅम बांदलो पळय तेची मेन न्हंय ही ह्या न्हंयचेर डॅम बांदलो.
ओके आनी हांगा सगळे तुमचे कितें विधी जाताल्यो देवळाचे बिवळाचे ते हांगाच इट्स हियर. ओके वॉट इज दीस पॅड?
हे पॅड म्हणजे जेन्ना जात्रा जाताली तेन्ना पालखी येताली, पालखी हांगा दवरताली देवाची आनी मागीर ते देवा घेवन सकयल न्हांवपाक वताले.
Okay, so in other words, when God wanted to go for a walk, okay, they would bring him in a palanquin, they would place him here and then take him down for the holy bath. Very good. And you know, there was this very famous classical singer, Indian classical singer, Mogubai Kurdikar. Her daughter recently passed away. She was also a maestro of her own, Kishori Amonkar. Where is their house? This is their house. Yeah. Okay, so I think within another 4 or 5 years, this is going to totally go off. Everything. Okay, and this path was always there?
पहिली सामकी लास्ट कितें आमची पहिली.
Okay, okay, and another aspect is that now when we turn around, we see this structure over here. What is this structure?
तेका आमी शेजो म्हणटात.
शेजो.
शेजो म्हणजे वयर कितें जातलें ड्रेस करता नाटकाची ड्रेस मेकअप करपाचे ड्रेस घालता आनी सकयल मागीर येवन नाटक पार्टी.
So it was basically for preparation for the natak or the local theatre, right? And by the way, whose house is this one?
This is Sadanand Kurdikar.
This is of Sadanand Kurdikar. Ladies and gentlemen, when somebody builds a house, this is the state it is. But when somebody leaves the house and goes away, this is the state it comes back to. You can still see a lot of compartments over here. This house belongs to Sadanand Kurdikar and they still have their tulsi right over here standing strong. And even though they were very close to the river, they had their own well. Let's peep into it. What Mr. Pariyekar tells us is that during heavy monsoons, when the river waters rose, people could not take water from there. And this well served the purpose for this entire ward over here. You can actually see the tiles and you can see the mud walls. And one more important thing that you must see over here, on the other side of this bank, you can see a lot of tree stumps which have dried up. Here also there are tree stumps. Now these have been going underwater since the year 1983, when the people were shifted from here, dam took place. Many times when you go to your bathroom, you are in the sitting room right now. So when you go to the bathroom and you start playing with the water for a long time, your hands become very lined. I mean, in Konkani we call it kyunjata. You know, same way, when anything remains in water for a long time, it comes up with some amazing artistic designs. And that design I am going to show you in one of the tree stumps that has sadly been here for the last so many years and goes underwater every year. Look at the beauty of nature and the tree stump. So this house that you see behind me over here, next to Mogubai Kurdikar's house, with a pathway in between, was of the
Sharad Paranjape.
Belonging to Sharad Paranjape. Now he was the pujari of this temple, but even a pujari was not spared from nature. But regarding sparing, let us see this. Look how beautifully this tree has eroded itself by remaining underwater for such a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, when you come visiting to this place, remember one thing. Do not lift up anything, any wooden things and take it, because you will be breaking the forest laws. There are forest checkposts on the way. If they find something like this in your vehicle, they will detain you. This house plinth that you see is of Lakshmikant Kurdikar, who was the Assistant Commissioner of Police in Mumbai. Today, only this one wall and a part of his balcony remains, and attached to that was another house belonging to Prakash Kurdikar. You can see Mr. Prakash Kurdikar going back so lovingly into his home, while his relatives have come, reminiscing the old memories of having visited this house when it had a roof. As we are walking around this place, or a ghost town rather, or a ghost village, we are standing on an open space over here. Now this open space was the Mand. Mand is one of the places that have been reserved since ancient times by people of the village or that area to express their joy or start an event. But what was held over here were the Fogdis. And a lot of other activities must have happened here. Today, I can only see footprints over here in mud. The view from here all around is amazing. Thank you God for sending this cloud and making it very cool over here, because it's extremely hot over here. So, it is but natural that I asked Manoj Paryakar where his house was, and then he just kept quiet and he started walking towards it. Maybe. This was the house of Mr. Manoj Paryakar, who had to shift from here in the year 1983 when the Salaulim river was dammed and 17 villages of South Goa went underwater. And all because you, whoever are sitting in Salset, are drinking water is from here. Okay, when you get the water in your tap. But the water that you drink from the tap comes from here. And this is the house of Mr. Manoj Paryakar. Ladies and gentlemen, what behind me you can see the Sri Someshwar temple. Walking from the bank of that place to bring all these houses to you, to let you know how it feels to be underwater for a long time. We came here to the banks of this river, the Salaulim river. And then it's so hot over here, the rocks are really heating up. And walking up is going to be really terrible. Just a pointer for you. When you come to visit places like this far off, carry a lot of water in your bags. Also, wear this cap. My cameraman tells me to take off the cap because he can't see my mug. But please wear this cap every time and wear non-slippery shoes. Because like I told you in all my episodes, safety comes first. Goa can be enjoyed with safety. And this is the land of you know who? The creepies and the crawlies. So, next time you come out to see these wonderful layouts of Goa, wear a cap, carry a lot of bottles of water, and carry this fellow. Because this fellow helps you in making memories. Let's create more memories. after walking the gauntlet, or rather a rafter of an old house from the land to this particular place, ladies and gentlemen, I am so honored today to sit on the balcony or the balcony or the veranda of the house of Padma Vibhushan Mogubai Kurdikar and her daughter Gantapaswini Kishoritai Amonkar. Both are not here, and I am sure that after seeing the state of their house, they would definitely have come up with a very sad song for all of us. But we have with us somebody from the same house, Mr. Ajay Bab Kurdikar. Ajay Bab, have you spent time in this house of Mogubai Kurdikar?
15 years.
15 years.
आम्ही हांगच्यान शिफ्ट जाले त्या वर्सा हांव 15 वर्साचो आशिल्लो. So I have completed my SSC here
In this house.
in this house. Curdi.
Tell us, how was this lady that we have only heard about, or the ladies that we have just heard about, Mogubai Kurdikar and Kishoritai Amonkar? How were they?
दोघ जाण मनीस म्हणून तर एकदम बरी. शास्त्रीय संगीता भितर तेणें अजरामर नांव केल्लेंच आसा. पूण आमकां चडसो तेंचो सहवास लाभलो ना, कारण त्यांची चायल्डहूड ती बरीच ल्हान आसतनाच हांगच्यान महाराष्ट्र गेली किंवा मुंबय गेली आनी थंयच ती मोठी जाली. सो वर्सांतल्यान एक वेळा ती हांगा येताली.
Was it during the mango season?
मँगो सिजन अशें म्हणून न्ही की देवळाचो एक वर्धापन दीस जातालो एंड ऑफ द मे ऑर ऑन द फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ द जून. कळ्ळें म्हणटा त्या दिसा दुर्गाष्टमी म्हणून जो तीथ आसा पळय त्या तिथीच्या निमित्यान हांगा रवळनाथ देवळाचो वर्धापन दिन जातालो. आनी त्या दिसा ती सहकुटुंब त्यांचे शिष्य परिवार कला अकादमीतले लोक हे सगळे लोक हे गांवाक आनी हे घरां येवन आमी पदस्पर्श करून हे पावन जाल्ली भुमी म्हाका आज इतली 32-33 वर्सांनी हांगा येवन हो अनुभव परत घेवपा आनी त्यो यादी रिकलेक्ट करता आसतना खूब आनंद जाता.
Ladies and gentlemen, what Ajay Bab told me before coming down here was, for the first time in the last 32 years, this water level has gone so low. Please correct me.
Yes, sure.
And the house has come up maybe to bring its sight for you wherever you are in the world. This house, I can feel the notes of the music, the classical music, just creeping up myself. The feeling is awesome. And I have a continuity of this lineage sitting right next to me. How more awesome can it be? Thank you, Ajay Bab, for being with us and telling us about this wonderful place. I think since you are coming here after such a long time, you will also want to go into the rooms and show me where the rooms were.
Yes, sure, sure.
Come on. This was the door.
वो मुख्य दार पण आणि हे मुख्य साल.
Okay, the main hall.
मेन हॉल.
Okay.
हे जाग्याचेर बसून आमी कितले अशे मैफली आयकल्ले आसात. हांगा आमचे गणेश म्हणजे चतुर्थी वेळार हे जाग्याचेर
The makar was there.
was there.
The Ganesh idol was being venerated here, and this was the main hall.
हांगच्यान वयर वचपाक स्टेरकेज आशिल्ली.
Okay, there was a
big house.
It was a
Very
ground
big
plus one house.
Yes. तो सगळे वुडन वयर सगळे फळी आशिल्ली पण हांगच्यान ताका वयर वचपाक स्टेरकेज प्लस ते सायडी किचन.
The kitchen was this side. Okay.
किचन वचपाची वाट मुख्य हॉलांतल्यान आशिल्ली.
Okay.
हे मुख्य दार मोठी दार आशिल्लें भितरल्यान ताका आडांबो म्हणजे
Hi, hi.
ती हे नाशिल्ल्यो कितें
You know, Ajay Bab reminds me of one thing. During the olden times, the walls of the houses were big. They would just fold the door, and they had a long wooden beam from one wall coming into the other wall, locking the door. That was called as an adamo. And I can see that these walls are quite thick. They are 3 stones thick.
हांगा दार आशिल्लें हांगा हे किचन
What have you eaten from this kitchen? What do you remember having eaten in this kitchen?
ऑल ट्रेडिशनल ट्रेडिशनल डिशीज
Okay.
खतखते मूग गाठी बटाट भाजी म्हणजे ज्यो हांगाच पिकिल्ल्यो वताल्यो आनी हांगाच आमी ते
Do you remember any time that you were hungry and you picked up something from Mogubai's kitchen and then you got a pasting for it? You did?
नो 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 कित्याक कारण आमी तितलो अनुभव घेवपाक त्यांचो आमकां तितलो सहवास मेळ्ळो ना.
Okay.
सो हियर देर वॉज अ वन बेडरूम.
Okay.
हांगा देवाची कूड
Huh?
देवाची कूड मोठी कूड
हांगा आशिल्ली.
आनी आमी रेग्युलर देवाची पुजा करताले. त्याच बरोबर भायर आमी ते पळय ती कुरकूट पळयतात काय ना,
हय
ते निरांजन पेटोवन दवरपा खातीर आनी निरांजन पालवावची न्ही म्हणजे ते रातभर ते तेवत उरचे म्हणून ताका ते अशी
Protection दिल्लें. Were there any houses behind here?
ना आमचे शेवटच्या
This was the last.
दिस वॉज द लास्ट आनी सकयल आनी काय 50 मीटर गेल की मागीर
The river.
रिवर
What is the name of this river?
कुशावती.
Kushavati. Okay. And what was this side?
हांगा एक रूम आशिल्लो.
Okay.
सो चडसो आमी रूम यूज करनाशिल्ले पूण
Like a store room.
लायक या म्हणजे नाल्ल दवरपा खातीर आंब्याची तर आमची खुबशीं झाडां आशिल्लीं. आमचो हॉल कंप्लीट ड्युरींग दीस सिजन आमी पिकोवपा खातीर म्हणजे जालो भरून वतालो. सगळें तण घालप आनी मागीर ते पिकोवपाक आमी दवरप.
Mangoes.
कळ्ळें
Okay.
आनी ते समोर दिसता ते भटाची घर.
Ha.
परांजपे फॅमिली.
This is of the Paranjape family. Okay. We can still see the beams and the walls of this particular house. Ladies and gentlemen, my visit to Curdi has become an amazing, momentous occasion for me because I stand at a place where once sang the Padma Vibhushan Mogubai Kurdikar. We only see her photographs, but she created an impression on the minds and the connoisseurs of music in India. My salute, My Goem or My Goem salutes this lady along with my cameraman and the Prudent team, because very few people, like Ajay Bab told us, very few people will have the opportunity to see this place so much risen up, because this has happened after 32 long years. Possibly next year we may not even see this, as this may get washed away. But My Goem has the privilege of bringing to you the house, the residence of Mogubai Kurdikar and Kishorita Yamonkar. So we have come to one ward inside the submerged village called as Khavanzar. Very difficult names to say. And behind me you can see water and a huge dam that has been created of laterite stones and granite. And this is called as the Bhosle Bandh. And the waters from here were used for irrigation. We talked about crops like rice, of sugarcane, and this was the livelihood of the people who were staying in all this. So what we will do is we will just pan around and show you what this Bhosle Bandh was. So when we came to this Bhosle Bandh, we were treated to another amazing surprise. I am sure many of the people, many of the heritage lovers, they may not know about this. But what we saw over here is a 2-compartment cave that is right on the banks of this bandh, and it has got 2 niches on the side, possibly to show the way, because this is cut from laterite and there are steps that are leading down. So maybe this was the place where they kept the god in the bigger one and light in the smaller one, so that people could come and venerate. Such places are amazing. As amazing as I am melting over here in the hot sun. So ladies and gentlemen, this cave, if ever you come into this basin, but with permission, asking the people whether they can come over here, because sometimes you may get caught in a mishap and there will be nobody, even if you shout, to come to your help. Or if my beloved friends come out here, then you'll have to leave your car and run back. So please take all precautions, wear good shoes, wear a hat, and visit our beautiful heritage of Goa. This is the cave. Today, sadly, it is cracking because of the hot sun. These are rocks. If rocks can crack, why not me? So let me head for the nearest shade. I'm becoming poetic.